settings, and the technology sounds very expensive. So how can small and medium businesses prepare for these threats without someone who doesn't have a huge budget? How can they be prepared for this?
And yeah, I think, let me put across, certain thoughts around this. Of course, the larger in number is the small and medium enterprises compared to, you know, uh, true bigger enterprises. And it is, I mean, with even in India, in the last 5 to 10 years, there are quite a lot of startups and quite
Hmm.
a lot of young entrepreneurs setting up their own entity, right, and pursuing,
Absolutely, absolutely.
you
India
know,
is witnessing its own startup wave.
yeah, and a huge startup way, and then we got the courage, right, to do that, and then of course some of the great learnings from the universities promoting. So now what happens is, and these startups and medium enterprises as well, they focus a lot on their mainstream business, which is fair, and that's what they have to do. And but then no business today runs without any digital assets.
Hmm.
So they essentially need everything in being in digital. And when they work with end consumers, and when they work with the data of end consumers, and be it payment, and any accounting related data or any personal PII data, right? So, I mean, if the business involves in, collating or collecting such kind of a data and applying it to the business, I mean, those are the business needs to be especially, focus on the cyber threat as well. All right. So it's not only impacting their business, but it is also impacting quite a lot of individuals through them. All right. And as you rightly said, I think a very important point. Um, how do we manage the cost versus protection? Right?
Hmm.
What can we typically use in such a way that systems are protected? At the same time, I mean, you're not spending humongous money while you're building the business. Right? I mean, I see that. I think uh, the the expensive tools perform very comprehensive checks.
Hmm.
Right. And so definitely comprehensive checks today are not possible, quite possible, in a few $1,000, right? And then you'll have to really throw a lot of money. I think
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
somehow got the point right. Right. And I also honestly see that there is a big need, to empower these SMEs with more comprehensive tool at a lower price. I also see that as a great opportunity. Probably this room might have some entrepreneur who would actually also look at how can we, essentially do it. Yeah, but I think what I would also call it, right? So one, I think relying on some of these tools.
Hmm.
Second, we call it zero trust model, right? So while I think setting up your digital asset, create a more governing policy, build the policy of who has to access what is being stored where, and follow, basic encryptions, right? Basic masking, basic protections of all of these critical data, right? So in that way, even anything get exposed, and it is not really usable, right? So first thing is, I think zero trust, more of a policy establishment to make sure that within the small enterprises and medium enterprises who get exposed to what kind of a data, how it is being stored, how are we encrypting, right? So that's a bare minimum step that actually they can do,
Hmm.
which doesn't cost you much. And then on the other side, I think they will have to look at what type of critical data, especially to start with, and what type of critical system that they have, where the threat impact can be higher, and maybe start protecting them, by spending, uh, limited dollars. And as a conclusion, I see that I think there is a great opportunity to create much cost effective systems for SME.
Great, great. I think that is going to be a useful insight for SMEs preparing to prep up against these threats. I would also love to hear your views about the cybersecurity domain. How do you see the future, maybe in the next 3 to 5 years? With Gen AI also playing its role. I think we are hearing from the best person, and we would love to hear your views on this. That where do you see the industry heading?
Um, yeah, I think so. I can actually relate. Let's look. I mean, we have come across, recently Operation Sindoor, and where you have seen that, today air defense system is able to find out, be it drones, be it missile coming and hitting, and these air defense system that India and Israel have produced, right, together, is able to spot them and is able to, kind of destroy before those system, right, or those missile reach the target, right, and it is completely autonomous if you see, and right, it is doing really well. Right. And so today, I think I would also see that the 3 to 5 years down the road, cyber security would also have quite a lot of autonomous systems in terms of detecting, in terms of responding to the situation, in terms of creating the fence at the runtime, right? And probably, or I may even say that it may go to a situation where you try to attack me, my assets digitally and through different medium. I may also go back and attack you back, right? So I may actually also destroy yours, the source where it is coming from, right? So it can actually also, if I envision a step ahead, it can be a AI cyber battle as well. Right. So that's how I see. But definitely, I think I am anticipating that autonomous, right, cyber defense system are something that we can expect